Hey, what's going on? Want to find out what you're reading? This is what I'm reading. What Truth Sounds Like by Michael Eric Dyson. First of all, I just want to get some background on Mr. Dyson. I think he's a great author, a great speaker. I've been following him for almost 15 years. The book that he wrote about Tupac was excellent. Like that's something you holler if you hear me. Like anybody that's looking needs to read that. you know. But Mr. Dyson is a very liberal. He's super liberal. I'm probably more, right of center, but you know, he's one of those voices. Him, Malcolm Mountain Hill, and a host of others. I'll share some more. Like I always keep abreast of what black intellectuals are talking about. Anybody in America, especially black people. This is what we should be discussing besides Drake's dance, But hey, it's a free society and people do what they want. So can't make them. But this book, I say he's super liberal and I love the context. I didn't know it. I mean, the book is about James Baldwin and a host of others. Lorraine Hansberry. If you don't know who that is, Google it. A freedom fighter named Jerome Smith. If you don't know who that is, Google him. Harry Belafonte. And a couple more people. They all met Robert Kennedy, which was John Kennedy's brother. He was the Attorney General at the time. And they just wanted a meeting. He wanted to meet and find out what was going on in the black community. So when they got there, they just like let him have it. They were like, this is BS. Like, we need this to change. Y'all don't understand what we're talking about. Kind of like, what black people are doing now. But at that time, that was a little more revolutionary. They were a lot less, forward than they are now, But he talked to them. They talked. He talks about the exchange and, how some people walked out and how it actually changed, how Kennedy thought about the people, about black people. And, one of the parts where he talked about, I'm Irish and I came in 2 generations, and they explained all that to him. That was something that, I understood. It didn't shock me. I mean, Dyson is a beautiful, beautiful author. He uses some words that I had to look up myself, And a lot of stuff I disagree with him, because he goes on one part he talks about how the Nation of Islam were, basically they were fantasizing, a lot of liberals, they don't believe in just black nationalism, that we can go and make our own country. That's what it seems to me. I might be wrong, but it's just like they always seem like they need help from the government, which would be the right thing for the government to do. But when has the government done the right thing? That's what I don't understand about people that's far left. It's like they're asking the government to do things, but then they're claiming that the government, is the one that's oppressing them. So, and I'm not one of the ones that's, I'm a conservative or I'm a liberal and all that. There's enough of that on YouTube, dude. You could watch enough videos for life. And Twitter and all, they're constantly fighting Fox News and CNN and all that. I watch it, but I always, watch it with a grain of salt, because there's, hypocrisy on both sides. There's a saying that I used to say, we're all hypocrites on our best day. So, hey, when you talk about humans. But one of the things that I really disagree with him on, he talked about Michael Jordan, and this is something that, people have been doing to Michael Jordan for years, like saying that he didn't speak up, he didn't do enough for the black community, First of all, there's no law that's saying you should. This is why he talks about Muhammad Ali in the book, and he talks about, how Ali stood great. That is great. That's why those people are special. If everybody started doing it, then it's a fad. It's like what you had a few years ago, Everybody was just saying they were woke and all, but they weren't putting the time in. They weren't reading. They weren't studying this. It becomes just a fad, I think this is just for special people, That's why my channel, I have a few views. Like, I don't even care. Like, because I know this is not for the masses. The masses are listening to Drake, you know. And I like that song too, you know, Kiki. But I mean, come on. I mean, that's next week they'll be doing something else. It's like there's there's powers at work that always want to keep us into flake stuff. And son, I'm talking to you. It is your duty. It's not the government. It's not your school. It's not even my job. For you. You, the library is there if you don't have money. If you have money, Amazon is there. There's bookstores. You should be constantly reading. You should be constantly studying the society around you. Constantly. You know, you don't take a break during Christmas time, and you'll see as you get older, when I'm off work and we have holidays, I'm at home reading. You know, I mean, that's how your grandfather raised me. We watch the news every day. Now, I mean, we have news 24/7, you know. But that's your responsibility. That's nobody's responsibility. You should know what's going on. You should, I'll never tell you to pick a side or you should follow me or even with a religion. You know, you should, oh, that's something that you should do the research on. That's on you. That's not on me. That's not on your mom. I'll just lead you. I'll say, hey, check out that book. Check out that book. What do you think about it? But I don't want to say, you should feel this way about that. You might disagree with me. You might see something from a different angle. That's why freedom is such a beautiful thing. That's, you know, I can read a work of art and see one thing. You can read another book and see one thing. See, when people start talking about banning stuff and, oh, you shouldn't do this. I was watching a video and the guy had a Make America Great hat on and the girl just came, took it off his head and ran. He's running behind the girl. You know, I would have beat up if she touched me, but, you know, he's like, you know, give him my hat. Oh, you shouldn't be wearing this. You should, you know, even if you feel like that in your heart of hearts, as long as that person doesn't act on that, then they still have a right to perpetuate it. You know what I mean? And when they start acting on violence and stuff, then that's when, you know, the meltdown comes. And you got to fight fire with fire. But he writes, one of the reasons so many athletes have taken after Jordan rather than Ali has little to do with conscience and more to do with forms such expression might take. Today's black athlete thrives in a time that has shifted from social conscience to social service. They perform humanitarian deeds, visit a sick child at a hospital, lend a hand in building a house, raise money for the relief of hurricane disasters. These are laudable acts and politically neutral. They risk little of the athlete's reputation, demand very little of his or her political capital. But that is a choice, Mr. Dyson. You can't force them if they want to speak out. And some people, America is such a great country, and America is such, we live at so much ease and we have so much convenience that there's some people that will never, ever, ever care about any of this. And that's their right. You know, when I was young, I was, oh, you should read this, you should. No, that's their right. There's some people, they're going to live their whole life, you know. Your uncle was like that. My uncle, your great uncle was like that. He lived his whole life, didn't care about anything that outside of his street that he lived on, and the house, and the corner store. And that was his life. And he was the happiest person I ever met in my life. Because that was his world, you know. And we, even if you decide to start studying and reading, you always have to have that in mind where, you know what, this isn't for everybody. That's what makes you you, you know. Everybody is not reading. Everybody is not studying, you know. It's sad that so many of the people in our community, but that goes back to historical when we were forbidden to do it, you know. And there's things at work right now that still kind of keep us away from it, you know. So help somebody that want it, you know, and that's all you could do, you know. That's what I feel my purpose is, you know. Even helping you, you know, to encourage you to read, study, you know. So that's it. Like I said, Mr. Dyson, I enjoy it. Sometimes he go a little too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like he don't have an original thought. He just goes with the party line, like kind of like I'm watching CNN. But it is what it is. I think you'll enjoy the book. Like I say, it's very up to date. He talks about stuff that happened like, within this year. So maybe by the time you get to it, it'll be ancient history, and I'll reread it with you, and maybe I was wrong. Maybe some of the predictions that he said were right. So anyway, check you later, man. Peace.